Today, we're looking at a really powerful story about resilience. Kaylee Del Valle, a 31-year-old fitness trainer.
Yeah, her life took just this unimaginable turn, according to the sources we looked at.
Absolutely. Imagine this. She gets diagnosed not just with cancer, but also, 3 separate autoimmune diseases.
3?
Yeah, 3. And this is someone described as, super vibrant and active before all this, a competitive cheerleader doing well in school.
Right, and that contrast is stark. Her own immune system attacking healthy cells plus cancer, it's a lot.
It really is. And the sources mentioned it all started pretty subtly, too, just feeling tired when she first went off to college.
Which makes the later diagnoses even more jarring, I think. The combination, cancer and multiple autoimmune issues, that's incredibly complex from a medical standpoint, too.
How so?
Well, treatments can conflict. What helps one thing might aggravate another.
Yeah.
Managing the immune system becomes this really delicate balancing act.
Okay, got it. So for someone with her active background to suddenly face that specific set of challenges is profound.
Definitely. So our mission today really is to explore how she navigated that. What strategies, what mindset shifts did Kaylee use, according to these accounts?
So faced with all that, the shock must have been immense. What was her first step? How did she begin to even approach it?
Well, the materials suggest a really crucial pivot early on. Instead of despair, which would be completely understandable, she apparently moved towards seeking understanding, trying to engage proactively.
Okay, proactive engagement. What did that look like?
It seems she started redefining what healing meant for her, personally. Maybe not a cure in the conventional sense, like making it all go away, but finding well-being within the situation.
Right, finding a way to live well despite it all.
Exactly. And the sources really emphasize her spiritual framework here. It says faith became her, quote, anchor.
Faith as her anchor. That's a strong image. But, for listeners who might connect with that differently, or maybe not at all, did the sources point to other things, more universal principles, maybe?
That's a great question. Because while faith was central for her, the accounts suggest it wasn't passive. It wasn't just hoping.
Okay.
It's described more like an active faith.
Mm-hmm.
It gave her a lens, maybe, for resilience, a way to frame her suffering that helped her move past feeling like a victim.
So how did that translate into action day to day?
Practically speaking, it led to a really rigorous commitment to exploring integrative health options.
Like what?
The material mentions her looking deeply into nutrition, specifically for autoimmune conditions, researching complementary therapies, and a strong focus on mindfulness practices, things like that.
So it almost sounds like she took that competitive drive she had, as an athlete,
Yeah.
and channeled it into this holistic pursuit of well-being, not just fighting the disease, but finding a way to thrive.
Precisely. That's a good way to put it. The reports talk about her embracing a philosophy of radical acceptance.
Radical acceptance.
Sounds like acknowledging the reality of her conditions, but not letting them totally define who she was. This involved big lifestyle changes, really trying to understand her body's specific needs.
Wow.
It's a powerful example, really, of finding agency, finding some control, when circumstances could easily make you feel powerless. She wasn't just waiting for healing, she was actively, crafting her own path towards it.
A path that maybe went beyond what doctors initially expected.
It seems that way.
Right.
Definitely beyond conventional expectations, finding her own way to define and achieve well-being.
So wrapping this up, Kaylee Del Valle's story, as we've seen it in the sources, is quite remarkable. Facing cancer, 3 autoimmune diseases, devastating news, and yet finding, as the source says, peace, hope, and healing.
Right. And connecting back, that idea of faith as her anchor was key for her, but it fueled very practical actions. It really makes you think, doesn't it? For you, listening, when things get overwhelming, what are those personal anchors?
Yeah, what do people lean on? What gives them strength, resilience? How do they find their own path forward? It leaves us with a final thought, I think. The different ways do people find to approach healing, to approach well-being, especially when the standard path seems blocked or maybe just doesn't feel right for them?